All right, Tim Burton been smoking that shit again.
Hey, he's back to doing what he always does, except there's color in it this time. Yeah. I mean, usually it's something that's like black and white with a little bluish tone, and everybody's really pale with tons of black lipstick on.
You know, at the very least, he may be smoking that same shit he's always smoking, but it is shit that he grew himself and breathed and everything. It's his thing. He just never wants to try to smoke anything else.
Which means nobody has had it before. It's his own thing. When you say it's his own shit, it really is something he came upon and grew himself. Yeah. He made his own formula.
You remember when we were like, man, this guy has a really original vision. And
yes.
15 movies later, we're like, dude, really?
Yeah. It's that kind of product that Tim Burton went straight to the Amazon and got himself.
Hey, maybe he just has no short-term memory, and he just like keeps backing up, thinking like, I'm making my first movie, and these are the designs I'm going to use. And everybody's like, you don't remember doing that the last time? No.
Tim Memento Burton.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got written on his arm, dude, you already made this fucking movie.
I did. But, you know, I was kind of excited about this because when they said Tim Burton is directing Alice in Wonderland, I was like, well, you know, really, I like Tim Burton when he directs stuff that I think suits his personality. And I'm thinking, yeah, I think Tim Burton is somebody that could possibly have been influenced by Alice in Wonderland.
I have no doubt that he was.
Yeah, but then the story, as we watch the trailer more, Alice is a little older now. I think she's even about to get married, and she starts tripping again and goes back to Wonderland. And this time, the Queen of Hearts is taking over, and it's a darker place. Yeah. There's a video game out there called Alice
from Explosion.
Oh, right, it does.
How can the same thing happen to the same girl twice?
Yeah,
blowing up with candy everywhere. The heart.
Yeah, yeah. No, what's her name? Helena Bonham Carter,
yeah,
who already has a big head in real life,
and they just made it bigger.
And they just made it bigger,
and maybe they only made it slightly bigger.
Well, she's so weird looking. Normally, you kind of have to put her in roles that are really weird looking, you know, so that kind of covers up the natural weirdness.
Or maybe all these years there's been CG to make her head smaller. They just cast her in this movie as is, you know, but no. So in this movie, she goes back to Wonderland. It's a darker place, which again suits Tim Burton. So I don't know, man. Tim Burton, when he sticks to certain source material, I think he's fine. When he goes off into Tim Burton land, it's either hit or miss. I mean, but really, this looks cool if nothing else.
Well, Tim Burton is only able to stay out of Tim Burton. Most movies he does, for the first 2 acts, he might stick to the source material. By the 3rd act, he doesn't give a shit anymore. It's all about him. He just does whatever he wants to do. And with this movie, it's almost like he feels like, hey, Alice is me. I am the Alice director. And so it's all about every bit of the trailer I've seen. It looks like it's all about him and what he wants to do. You know, Lewis Carroll, who's that?
Yeah, he's not a very good storyteller. He's very visual and he's very much into that. And yeah, even with the stuff within his style, you go, okay, I admit that's neat looking, but you know what? I need a story to go with that that is interesting. That's not just going to fall apart and lose my interest. That's what I'm most afraid of. Also, the fact that Burton, when he's using licensed material, stuff that somebody else came up with first, you know, like especially something really well known, that's when he, generally speaking, these days really falls apart. He just can't do it.
Yeah, I look at this and I'm like, wow, this looks cool. I'm excited. And yet somehow I think by that, you know, he's just gonna go off the rails in that 3rd act somewhere, you know, and just say, fuck it. This just looks pretty. That's all you need.
Well, yeah. He's far from the first person in the last decade to do a what happened after Wonderland thing. Let's an imagining of some darker version. I mean, come on, there was a video game 20 years ago that was hugely popular.
That's what we had mentioned just now.
Yeah, you bought it for me for my birthday years ago.
American McGee.
I bought that for you?
Yeah.
And or was it American McGee? What's
American McGee?
Yeah, and they were working on a movie of that until suddenly Tim Burton decided he wanted to do an Alice in Wonderland movie, and then that whole thing got kiboshed.
Well, actually, that thing got it died before even Tim Burton wanted to do it.
That's not what I actually heard, because I remember I was excited about it and following it, and they were talking about the Tim Burton movie, and then almost immediately that was like, yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, a couple of years ago they stopped. I mean, because there were rumors of Wes Craven directing that.
Well, because that one kept coming up every couple of years. Maybe you missed one of the rebirths of the project, because there was one about a year ago.
Well, the reason why I know this is because somebody asked me a question about that.
I remember when it got canceled and it came back again, because that thing has been one of those projects that pops up every couple of years. Like, yeah, that would be cool to do, and then it gets killed. It's just another one of those.
I'm just what's that?
Because I've been following
to settle this nerd fight between the two of you. We'll get to see how it actually comes out in this movie.
Yeah,
whether it can be done or not.
Yeah, I just think you hate Tim Burton so much. You're like, and he fucked up American McGee too.
I don't hate Tim Burton at all. I love quite a few of his films, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Hell, I like Pee-wee's Big Top a lot. You know,
Really?
I don't think he directed that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
did he
no,
not?
he
Well,
didn't.
okay, well, fair enough. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite comedies. I absolutely adore that movie. I'm like the one guy out of all of us that really liked Big Fish. I thought Big Fish was a lot of fun.
You know
and
what?
I really identified
Even though
with it.
I don't like Big Fish, I did like that it was a departure from a lot of things he does.
Sure, I love Ed Wood. I think that's his best
I think it's
film.
by far his best film.
Edward Scissorhands feels weird watching it now, but at the time it was really just mesmerizing. It was like, wow, this is neat and new and fascinating.
It was something different.
Yeah, it was a really good fairy tale film. It just didn't hold up as well over time. But you know, by no means do I hate Tim Burton. I'm ready for him to do something different, and I'm ready for him to work with a better class of writer, I guess, maybe.
And you know what? Let Johnny Depp out of that contract. You know, give him the negatives so he can be free.
Yeah, here, Jesus, I don't even like looking at him in the preview for this. He looks like Bozo the Clown and David Letterman had a child and they're a vampire now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's almost that thing of like after Willy Wonka and Sweeney Todd, it's just like a competition. Like, okay, how can I be even crazier this time?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's what's throwing me off about this trailer here and watching Johnny. That's what's throwing me off about Johnny Depp in this movie. I'm looking at everything in here and I'm like thinking, wow, you know, this is one of the closest adaptations of Alice in Wonderland I've seen. There was a Jim Henson production of it a few years ago on television, and that one was pretty cool too, but this has a bigger budget. I'm thinking, no, everything looks close except for Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp just looks crazy. He looks like an old woman with a lot of makeup on. When I was a kid, there was this woman she was an alcoholic and she didn't know how to put on her makeup after a while, and she had that crazy face. And when I was about like 5 years old, she used to always come up to me and be like, "Go ahead, baby, get some sugar." And I would always hide under my mom's arms and under the car. And I was
woman
running
lived in my neighborhood too.
Yeah, everybody knows this old woman. Hey, and she always wants to kiss everybody. Give me some sugar. And I'm just like, this is bringing me back to those nightmarish days when that woman was around. He looks like some old fucking made up chick who you'd see in church who didn't have anybody to take care of her.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's Tim Burton's unique look at Alice in Wonderland, but that is not how I pictured the Mad Hatter because I didn't want to die in my sleep. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, there's some cool things in there. I like the Cheshire Cat in this. I mean,
it looks great.
I'm glad that even though, I mean, it looks so real now. You always hear stories about people at parties where somebody took a hit of weed and blew smoke in the cat's face. I'm like, that cat ain't no CG. That cat was at a party. Some stoners did. And that cat has just been grinning ever since. Yeah, and Tim Burton said, he's probably at that party. "Hey, man, you need a job?" Man, I'll take anything.
Left a trail of cheeseburgers. Come on, kid.
Cheeseburgers.
No, burritos. Frozen burritos. Oh, shit, man, I'm so hungry. Cut that light on and where am I? Roll them. But, you know, I'm going to say that this is a Tim Burton movie that I have looked forward to more than any other Tim Burton movies in years. So but again, I'm entering this with more caution than I have with a lot of Tim Burton movies because I love Alice in Wonderland so much. So we'll see.
I think I'd be more excited about this if it wasn't diluted by the last few movies he's made, where it's like he's been gearing up to this so that by the time he's gotten to this point, there's no surprises. The opposite of surprise. It's a feeling of dread. It's like, man, please don't make me sit through what another Charlie and the Chocolate Factory again, or
Corpse Bride,
or
Planet of the Apes. God help us all.
I mean, I don't even have to bring up Planet of the Apes. That was that's the one that was like, wow, I can't believe he did that, even with my lowest opinion of him. But this is it looks so much like more of the same, but I have hopes that it won't be.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, no, we will see. And you know, damn.
You were like, we will see.
No, we will see. As like, you know, I mean, I'm defensive of Lewis Carroll's work too. That's I grew up on loving that book and the Disney cartoon and hell, several of the other adaptations. There's a animator from Sweden, John Svackmajer. Have you ever seen his Alice? It's all stop motion animated.
Oh, that one, the real dark one.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's beautiful.
Let's not forget the porno version. That was pretty good too.
What's that called?
I don't know.
So you didn't have a title? You gotta have a porn title.
No, it actually doesn't have like one of those titles.
Oh, okay. It's like
you know,
Howard's End.
like the porn Pinocchio.
Yeah.
It's just Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Well, just from the title, you know where that's going. So.
Oh yeah, then
Pretty
they had
much.
that version where, there is that porn version, one where Val Kilmer was a porn star, and then he got his head beat in at the end. It was like based on a true story. You remember that?
When he was John Holmes.
Wonderland. That's what it was called.
Wonderland.
So there is a porn version of that. You're joking, but